So you've heard of the silent treatment, right? You know how it goes. They cut you off, they stop talking to you, and it only ends when you apologize enough, when you beg, or when you give in to their demands. Hi, welcome to the video. If you don't know me yet, my name is Lawrence. 7 years ago, I left a toxic relationship, and I've been trying to figure out what happened to me ever since. I still remember having many one-sided conversations until like 4 o'clock in the morning with a single goal in mind. I have to make it right. Back then, I used to think that my whole life would fall apart unless I could break through to her. Until I learned what stonewalling was, and of course how it works. And I am far from the only person who's experienced this, so that's why on this video I want to go through exactly what stonewalling is, why we panic when it happens, and I've got 4 steps as well for handling the silent treatment that I know if you do them, I hope you'll be able to handle it without losing your head, giving in, or taking all of the blame. Now, most people I know have been given the cold shoulder at some point. Pretty sure teenage me dropped off in silence more than a few times. But stonewalling takes this to a whole other level. Now, first up, I'm not talking about your girlfriend who needs a few hours just to cool off. I'm not talking about your boss who doesn't have anything to say to you in the meeting right now. And I'm not talking about your husband as well, who needs a little bit of time to himself because there's just a lot going on right now. What I am talking about is the prolonged, repetitive shutting down of all communication. This is the kind of silence that lasts for days, weeks, possibly even years. And the only way it seems to end is if you go crawling back to them, you give in to their demands, you basically just do whatever it is they want you to do. This is what is known as stonewalling. And it's because like one minute you had this great connection with them and you felt really, really close. And then the next, it's like that old saying, you're talking to a brick wall. The first time I experienced this, honestly, it was like emotional torture. Because it wasn't just ignoring you. Trust me, I grew up with 2 sisters. I can handle being ignored. No, this went much deeper than that. Because they don't just ignore you. They act like you're dead to them. And that's what's so messed up with this. You go from connection to talking to this brick wall, and it makes you desperate to reconnect with them. And this is exactly where they want you. This is why they do it. Now, I remember reading this book on cults by Robert J. Lifton. It was all about how cults will make you do and believe pretty much anything. And one of the ways they do it is called the dispensing of existence. They psychologically unalive you. Cults do this to control you. They make you dependent on them in some way. They make you need them. And then they cut you off to create loyalty. And this is why in cults there's so much fear of leaving the group or fear of breaking the rules in case you're kicked out. And because you feel that you can't live without them for whatever it is that you're dependent on them for, the only way out of the silent treatment is to go crawling back to them, begging, giving in to their demands, and essentially doing anything to prove your loyalty. Great example of this is the Jehovah's Witnesses Church. If you grow up in this group, your family's in it, your friends are in it, you agree before you're even like 15 to toe the line of the group and to do all of the things the group wants you to do. So if you break the rules, you no longer exist. Your family don't look at you. Your friends don't want to hang out with you. If ever you don't comply, then it's announced to everybody that is everybody in the group, you are excommunicado. Human connection goes way beyond just being part of a group as well. We learn this stuff when we're babies. There's an experiment done with babies called the still face experiment. Basically, whenever a mom and a baby are interfacing one-to-one, she's smiling at the baby smiles back. When she talks to the baby babbles back and points at things around the room to show the mum stuff. Then when the mum wipes every expression off her face and just stares at the baby, the kid starts to panic. He tries to reconnect with the mum, maybe pointing at other things around the room, try to get her to respond. Maybe screaming does the job. He starts to do anything and everything that he can think of to try and reconnect with his mum. Now I get it. When I feel a bit overwhelmed, I need a couple hours to myself sometimes as well. And I've had a lot of people tell me that stonewalling is just a defense mechanism. And you know what? I agree. It is. It's self-defense. It's self-preservation. But to narcissists, psychopaths, coercive controllers, sometimes the best defense is a good offense. And this is the harsh truth about stonewalling. The whole point is to torment you. Stonewalling feels like a punishment because it is. Whatever it is that upset them, they can't handle it. The whole point is to remind you never to do that thing again. And it's basically torture on tap on their part. It's very little effort for them, isn't it? You just shut down and let you do the rest. And I think that's the most important message here, is that they're not actually doing anything to you. They're using your own emotions against you. And this is why stonewalling works. See, in toxic relationships, or in any cult really, we get attached to another person. Then when that relationship is put under threat, we panic. And in attachment theory, this is called anxious activation. Picture this. You have a strong metal cable that connects your heart to theirs. Then whenever there's distance between you two, that cable tightens and strangles your heart, stopping the blood flow. The cable supports two things. The first is your sense of value. This is your identity. This is who you are, your self-worth. And you'll know this is true if you've ever said or thought the words, "Without them, I'm nothing. They complete me. They're my other half." The second thing is our sense of safety, or from being saved from something. And it doesn't have to be a physical danger that you're escaping from either. It could be your escape from fear. It could be your escape from being lonely, or from a boring, mediocre, average life. They might be your meal ticket to a promotion or to a better life. Maybe it's just your parent and they've always been your protector. And you'll know this is true if you've ever felt panic or fear at the thought that they're going to go. You need them. Without them, I'm in danger. Without them, I'm in danger of going back to something I don't want to see again. So when someone cuts us off from that communication, from that feedback that we're getting from them, that cable tenses up because the closeness that we had at one point, that's gone now. And it's very easy for people on the outside to say things like, "Oh, look, they're just being dramatic. Just ignore them." But for people in cults, toxic relationships, toxic families, these people have invested everything into their relationship. And so you don't just stand to lose the relationship itself, it's your whole life on the line. So get this as well. That cable is sort of like your lifeline. So when it gets put under tension, under threat, our brain goes into survival mode. Bessel van der Kolk talks about this a lot in his book, The Body Keeps Score. Basically, the part of your brain that keeps track of time, that freezes up. And that's why it feels like this silent treatment, this stonewalling is never going to end. It feels like this horrible moment is going to last forever. So on the outside, yeah, they're ignoring you. But on the inside, you feel worthless and like you're in some kind of danger that you can't escape from. And when it finally does end, you get that dopamine high of everything flooding back in. You went from having no value to having huge value again. It feels like you've won the lottery. I'm back, baby. Oh yeah. And you also go from feeling like you're in danger to being safe again. You get this huge relief, like you've just narrowly escaped death, like you've just had a horrible car accident and somehow you managed to walk away without a single scratch. And you can see the same thing in the face of the baby when the mum becomes responsive again.
Okay. Fine. Oh yes, oh what a big girl.
But this is not handling it. An abuser will learn that they just have to cut you off to get whatever it is that they want. And you learn that your value and your sense of safety are contingent on accepting their terms. So how do we handle it? This is what took me years to realize. It is a punishment, yeah. But we choose whether or not we get punished. And before you shut your laptop in a rage and call me an abuse sympathizer or something, let me just explain what I mean by that. See, with stonewalling, you're not actually fighting them. You're fighting your own emotions. That is happening in here, not out there. All they do is shut down. It's the panic and the insecurity that pushes us to try everything to reconnect with them. And when you grovel with the abuser, they see their tactics are working. And that's what causes them to prolong the silent treatment for as long as they want to. Just to see you wriggle and writhe and squirm, okay? In this scenario, they are programming your behavior. It teaches you that by giving them what they want makes these horrible feelings just disappear. So here's the big takeaway. Instead, we need to show them that the behavior doesn't work. You have to teach people how to treat you. The whole game here is just to manage the tension in that cable. This is what works for me. First up, stay calm. This is probably the most important step for me because the second I lose control, it's over. Time slows down, my heart rate goes up, and I'm giving into their demands before I even have a chance to think. So first priority is keep your pulse, your breathing, your adrenaline nice and slow. Don't say I'll do anything just yet. Breathing controls the heart rate controls the adrenaline controls the fear. Box breathing is pretty good for this. It's the same technique that the Navy SEALs use to manage their stress. And I imagine their job is pretty stressful. It's pretty simple. You breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, and hold for 4 again. You don't need me to show you how to do it. There's plenty of resources out there. Just Google box breathing and you'll find a million people ready to help you. Step number 2, attempt to understand. Now, if you're anything like me, you'll probably get triggered in future relationships as well. And that's sort of expected, I think. But remember, not everyone is a narcissist. Not everyone is a psychopath. Most people aren't out to get you, but they might just be in it for themselves. So if you're not sure, test it. If there's a genuine issue, they'll want to talk about it. Maybe not right away. They might say something like, this is just a lot to take in right now. I just need a couple of days to myself. Then you can rest assured that your relationship is fine, that you're going to be okay, and that they'll come back to you when they're ready. If it's stonewalling though, you'll get nothing. You'll get silence. They'll look right through you. Or you'll get the classic line, you know what you did. And that brings us to step number 3. Give them space. Not because it's what they need, but because it's what you need. It's way easier to stay calm and understanding when it's not happening right in front of you, isn't it? Think about it. Who gets more success in their diet? The one who's staring at a cupboard full of junk food, or the one who never stocks up on it in the first place? Then once you've given them a bit of space, we move on to step number 4. This is the hard part. Detach. Remember, they want you chasing. You want to turn that cable into a stringy elastic band. And you do that by proving to yourself that you're okay without them. Go for a walk. Meet up with some friends, other co-workers. Focus on a hobby. Mine's playing music. Or write in a journal. You can spill everything in there without judgment. Every minute you don't engage teaches your body and them that you're okay without them and that the silent treatment doesn't work anymore. As with all these things, it is a gradual process. It takes time. But I know if you keep going at it, it just gets easier and easier to start to feel a little bit more like you again. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you did like it, found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. Share it with somebody who you think might need to see this as well, and drop any comments or questions you have below. We're looking at when abusers keep tabs on you next. So whenever you're ready, just click the link up here and I'll see you in a moment.